Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Tyler Ellison, and I'm going to be bringing through Ryo to celebrate this awesome buck moon, this super moon that we're experiencing right now. The psychic energy is really heightened, and I've just been feeling an incredible surge of motivation and enthusiasm. So I decided to do a special transmission for all of you. So I hope you enjoy, and I will see you at the end. It is our species' highest joy and passion to be able to interact with all of you through this particular channel. We shall describe to you in many ways the nature of the full moon. So recognize that whenever you're experiencing a full moon, the energy of your body is guided upwardly, and this has to do with the effect that your moon has on water. So the full moon in a certain way will cause water and energy to rise. So in your body, what ends up happening is the fluids of your body, the metabolic power of your body, and the chi of your body is directed upwardly, thus activating more of your upper centers. In particular, the full moon has a strong effect on what you consider to be your pineal gland, and it can actually upregulate the production of what you call the compound DMT within your own body, endogenous DMT. And this allows for there to be, in many ways, a surge in terms of psychic perception, an increase in psychic awareness, and your ability to commune with other levels of reality. In terms of the upper center of your body, it in many ways corresponds to what you would call the stellar realm, the star realm. So, when you are experiencing a full moon, the probability of what you call ET contact through telepathy is increased by many levels. And on this particular night, where you are having a supermoon, that probability of contact increases tremendously. And this is the reason why we are coming through in this way through the channel you're interacting with. Because we are, in a certain sense, representing what is taking place on the astral plane. So whenever you're experiencing a transmission from us, whenever you are experiencing our energy, be it through this channel or through others, what you're experiencing is a physical side effect of the astral energies that we are beaming towards your species, increasing and growing in their strength and in their power at certain points in time. As you experience time, those increases in our astral energies will actually translate as these particular channeling sessions and your own personal contact experiences. Keep in mind that these sessions, these transmissions that you're watching, count as a form of ET contact. So even though it is a channel, a person in that way that is speaking before you, it is the energetic state of the channel that is synchronized with our frequencies. So you're interacting with our etheric energy, our astral energy, our mental energy, our spiritual energy through this channel. And as you begin to entrain yourself with these frequencies that you are perceiving through the channel, you become more like us. You begin to become, in a certain way, a star within a constellation, a node within a network. And that network is the network of individuals that we are communicating with on subtle levels. So just through you taking part in this transmission, you're becoming more like us, and you're also including yourself in our collective frequency. The more people that are exposed to this energy and information, the more that constellation grows, because it's like more stars or more nodes are being added to the network. So it grows and grows and grows. And as this information and energy becomes more common on your planet, you will find there will be an increase in UFO sightings. You will find that more and more people will begin to really contemplate the type of information that we're talking about. Many of the things, the teachings that we share, will become common realizations for many people on your planet as this energy spreads throughout your world. The energies that we're sharing with all of you really are a reflection of your own higher knowingness, your own higher understandings, your own higher selves. So, ET contact really is a side effect or symptom of your own higher selves making deeper levels of contact with all of you. And because like attracts like, as you make greater levels of contact with your higher selves, you also begin to initiate contact experiences with all of us in different ways. So, we want to talk to you all about the idea of darkness and light. For many people on your planet, due to different types of conditionings, have a rather negative depiction, description, relationship with darkness. And evolutionarily speaking, this makes sense because your species is designed to see with daylight. Your species is designed to be able to function during the day in your circadian rhythm. Also is evidence of this, that you are, in many ways, daylight beings, sunlight beings, solar beings. And because of this, at night, your ancient ancestors oftentimes would have to stick together in close groups because in the darkness you can't really see if there's an animal or some type of predator that may be present. So because of that evolutionary history, your species has developed sort of a negative relationship with darkness because a dark environment could possess beings that are hostile, whom have the upper hand because they thrive in darkness, where your species, which is a solar species, doesn't necessarily have the biology that supports thriving in a dark environment. So, we want to talk a little bit about the idea of the importance of darkness and the importance of light, because both of these things co-create one another. Because remember, darkness and light exist within a, you could say, dualistic or polar type of reality framework. For you cannot have one without the other. Without knowing darkness, you cannot know light. Without knowing light, you cannot know darkness. So these things are completely entangled. Therefore, it is important to cultivate a beneficial relationship with darkness so you can cultivate a beneficial relationship with light. Because remember, both light and dark come from what you would call the same source. We'll talk about it like this. The highest level of the divine mind is equivalent to what you might describe as nothingness. It's not total non-existence, but it is so devoid of any type of relatable experience that the closest thing you have to compare it to is total nothingness. This level of the divine mind is sort of like a womb. And it is from this womb level, this nothingness level, that all things are born. In that sense, you could say the highest level of God is a feminine level. And from this level, what you consider to be darkness and light are born. Both darkness and light emerge from this level. Both darkness and light are infinite in their nature. And when the frequencies of darkness and light entangle with your physical reality, they take on different gradations of limitation. For example, you experience the idea of a limited time during your day where light is present through your sun. You experience a limited time during your day where darkness is present through the absence of sunlight. So, darkness and light come from the same source. They come from the same place. They are both manifestations of the divine. They are both, in many ways, the primordial children of the divine. Darkness has many different functions that it embodies and many different roles that it plays. So, think of it like this. In terms of nature, a seed needs a dark environment to sprout and to begin to grow towards the surface. It is the darkness that creates what you would consider to be the foundation, the yin dimension of life, for experience to be had. Without darkness, you do not have a solid foundation for experience to be initiated. So, In terms of what you would call matter, your earth is, in a certain way, a solid depiction of darkness. What you would consider to be your universe, your cosmos, is sort of a physical manifestation of light in terms of how darkness and light manifest in the physical reality. In that sense, your earth is yin. Your earth in that way is connected to darkness. Your universe is yang, and in that way it is connected to light. So, the earth realm, the earth plane, which is, again, equivalent to darkness in this description, creates a solid foundation, a solid platform, a solid environment for experiences to be had. And the idea is, it is the universe in that way that entrains the frequencies of the earth, of Gaia. And when we say it entrains the frequencies of Gaia, what we mean is it is the cosmic energies, the universal energies that instruct Gaia. The universal energies guide the flow of Gaia's evolution. And this means that the beings that are born of darkness, earthlings and beings of the earth, are invited by the cosmos, the universe, to follow that current of evolution. It is through darkness and form that your experience of linear time comes into existence, comes into manifestation. Through form, which engenders a certain type of gravity, you could say, time is then created as a side effect. So understand that form, time, and gravity are all completely entangled with one another. If you do not have an experience of time, you do not have an experience of change. If you do not have an experience of change, you do not have an experience of growth. And if you do not have an experience of growth, you sort of are in a stagnant reality, a stagnant environment. So it is the temporal nature of darkness, of form, that allows for there to be the experience of growth and evolution over time. So darkness in this way, which manifests in terms of form as the earth, presents to you an environment, a reality foundation where you can have a linear journey, where your character can evolve, can grow. Darkness also in many ways is similar to the idea of the unknown. For in darkness, you cannot really see what's around you. And you are then encouraged to utilize your other senses. So, this is another useful lesson that darkness has to offer. When you're experiencing the unknown, it's important to really surrender to that, to not resist the unknown, but to, in a sense, relax into it, to become calm. And from that place of relaxation, breath, and calmness, begin to expand your other senses. Begin to expand your heart center. Begin to expand your psychic perception. So you can intuit and utilize the tools that you have at your disposal to calculate, let's just say, or to feel into the appropriate course of action. Whenever you are in darkness, be that a situation that seems to be negative in your life, or be that simply facing the unknown, the idea is to illuminate the darkness. And you do that through opening the heart center. As we had mentioned earlier, you are all solar beings. And in that sense, your heart center is the solar center of your body. Your heart, as you know, physically in terms of your Western sciences, has been shown to emit photonic light. In that sense, your heart is like a little sun. So when you are in an experience that you consider to be dark, the idea is to open the heart center, expand the heart field. This is what we meant about using other senses to intuit how to navigate the darkness. When you illuminate the darkness, you transform unknown into known, because you are, in a sense, shining light upon the objects, the subject matter that's contained within the darkness, and you are then revealing it to yourself. And remember, both darkness and light come from the same source, and that source is you. Not just the little you, but the big you, the God you, the goddess you, the source you. So when you make the unknown known through opening your heart and shining light into the darkness, you then begin to integrate different dimensions of yourself. Darkness contains the idea of the theme of challenge. And it is the theme of challenge that entangles with the theme of discovery. For all challenges that you are presented with are challenges that you are capable of overcoming, because creation does not make mistakes. Source does not make mistakes. It creates with intelligence, it creates with purpose, and it creates with its own organizational story. Through all of you, through existence, Source is telling itself a story. So everything that happens in the story has some type of relevance. So whatever you find in the darkness will be something that is meant for you to find. Whatever you integrate in the darkness is something that is meant for you to integrate. So the idea is, when you're facing a challenge, when you are facing the unknown, when things feel dark, open the heart center and shine the light of your heart into the darkness. This overcoming of challenge is what evolves you. Without challenge, there really is no reason to adapt. If there's no reason to adapt, there's no reason to evolve. So challenge, in many ways, is one of the primary driving forces of evolution. Even beings such as ourselves experience challenges. We don't really experience them in a negative way, but we still experience them. There are things we have to adapt to in order to ride that leading edge of evolution. When you validate that which you discover in the darkness, you open your heart and begin to embody the quality of acceptance. When you begin to open your heart and accept that which you find in darkness, you merge with it. And as we have said, what you find in darkness will be a certain dimension of yourself, an unknown portion of yourself. When you judge that which you find in darkness, you create constriction and you actually reinforce what you find using negative energy, which actually pushes what you find further into the darkness, and it creates a sort of schism within your consciousness. And this is what leads to what people call the dark night of the soul. They discover some type of thing within themselves that they are unable to accept, and it creates a sort of cycle of suffering. But that cycle of suffering only exists because that which has been discovered is not being validated. It's not being accepted. So the key to overcoming your challenges, to overcoming that which you discover in darkness, is to shine light upon that thing through accepting that thing. Accepting something does not necessarily mean you have to like it. For example, you might find that something very negative has been happening in the darkness. You don't have to necessarily like what's been happening, but the idea is to recognize that it's all a part of the divine story. It's all a part of the divine plan. For some reason that's happening, and it has the ability to serve people whom discover it in a positive way. And to actualize, to activate that positive possibility, what's required is that you shine light into the situation. You emanate love into the situation. And this is an alchemy, because in that moment you are unifying opposites. You're finding something in the darkness and you are shining light into the darkness. And in that way, darkness and light begin to make love through you. And in that way, you are making love with yourself through that process of self-discovery. And when you do this enough, you, in a sense, begin to conceive a child that comes from that marriage, that unification of darkness and light, like two lovers coming together that are able to give rise to a new form of life. The same thing happens in you. And this new life that is birthed is a new version of yourself. The version of yourself whom has evolved, whom has overcome the challenge, and whom is now riding the leading edge of evolution. The reason we're mentioning all of this during your full moon time is because your moon represents a yin fire. Your sun is a yang fire, but the moon receives sunlight. The receptive action is a yin action, and it then reflects that to all of you. So when your full moon is occurring, your ability to perceive using your yin eyes, your subtle eyes, increases. Your ability to project that yin fire, that yin light into the darkness increases and grows. So you become sharper in your senses. You become more capable of discovering many hidden, many occult things. And this is why during full moon times, some people become very triggered, because they're discovering on different levels those things within themselves they have not yet integrated, and many people don't have the tools to integrate those things, so they sort of become on edge as a result of that. So remember, whenever you find something negative or uncomfortable or dark, as you say, in darkness, do not judge it, but instead open your heart to it. And we'll give you now a very brief exercise you can do whenever you encounter something within yourself or around you that is invoking a negative response. So, if you wish, please join in. We will show you how to open a heart field so you can begin to breathe with the heart, so you can illuminate that which you discover using the energies of acceptance and love, which will allow for you to conceive and give birth to your new self, the evolved self. In a certain sense, what you might call your future self, whom exists right now and is guiding you. For whenever you experience inner information that is useful and is positive, that guides you, what you are experiencing is that future self summoning you to create it, summoning you to choose it so it can come into your experience of existence. So, to begin, bring the tongue tip to the roof of the mouth and think of a loving feeling. If it assists you, think of a person you love. Think of a memory you love. Think of a place you love. But think of something that you love. And begin to feel pleasant. Just take a moment. And begin to form on your face a smile. Gradually increase the smile. Begin just with a slight Mona Lisa smile. Very subtle. And slowly begin to expand the corners of your lips, feeling the corners of your lips connecting to your earlobes. And feel the smile gently stretch across the face. And bring your hands to your heart center. Think of a pink lotus at the heart center. And begin to just spiral your hands on the heart center, going up the right and down the left. And feel that your smiling love is nourishing this lotus flower. And take a few moments just to rub in a circular pattern the heart center as you smile into it. Feeling that with every revolution of your hands, the feeling of love grows, the feeling of love increases. And now rest for a moment. Keep your hands on the heart center. And inhale a pink light into your heart center. Hold the breath for a moment. Feel the energy pressure build in the heart center. And as you exhale, expand that feeling of love around you. And see a pink light form around your body. Inhale, draw more loving energy into the heart center. Hold and see the heart center glowing with pink. Exhale and expand the pink light around you. Feel the loving feeling expand around you. Feel the love shining into the space. Inhale, drawing love in. Hold. Exhale, shine the loving light around you. Inhale, draw the loving energy in again. Hold the breath. And exhale, expand the loving energy around you. And the idea is to do this exercise for about 5 minutes. And you'll find that this energy you're cultivating will deeply assist you in remaining in a positive state as you deal with the challenges that you discover through merging light and dark, through evolving on Earth. So, let's say there's something specific in your life that you're dealing with, that you've discovered in your explorations of darkness, that really challenges you. Perhaps it hits close to home, as you say, and you really feel like this thing I have found could use love, could use integration. The idea would be to do this exercise just as we have done, and then begin to use this energy directly on the challenging situation. So let's say it's a relationship with a person. Picture that person in front of you. Inhale into the heart center and see that loving energy you've cultivated grow in the heart center as the pink light. Hold the breath for a moment, charging the heart center. And as you exhale, see that pink energy go down your arms, out your hands, and see it form a pink aura of light around the person. Let's do that again. Inhale to the heart center. Hold the breath. Exhale, send the pink light down the arms, out the hands, forming the pink aura around the visualized person before you. And one more time. Inhale to the heart center. Hold. And exhale. Send the pink light down your arms, out your hands, forming an aura of pink light around the person. And then bless the person. May you be happy. May you be filled with peace and goodness. And may you overcome your challenges with love, ease, and grace. And so it is. Now you may find perhaps your relationships are doing fine. Perhaps you're not really experiencing challenges that involve people. Perhaps the challenge has to do with finances. Perhaps the challenge has to do with the idea of a more material thing. The idea would be send that pink energy to whatever that subject matter is that is of a more material nature, and say something along the lines of, may love enter into this situation and guide this situation once you are finished sending the pink energy of the heart. So, we thank you for listening to our words. During this full moon, you may find the energies we're sharing are much more palpable. So, we wish to remind you that darkness is not your enemy. Darkness is your ally if you know how to have a positive relationship with it. Darkness is only your enemy when you judge that which you find in darkness. So, shine the heart energy upon that which you find, and darkness will assist you in evolving, for you will be bringing the evolutionary momentum of light into that situation, so that challenge can evolve and grow with the highest level of divine love and intelligence guiding it. So, our unconditional love of pink light to all of you. Enjoy your full moon, and we look forward to speaking to you all once more again soon. Okay, wow, 30-minute transmission. Wonderful. I hope you all had a great time, and I'll see you all soon. Thanks for checking this video out. If you would like a private session, you can use the link below to acquire one of those. We also have a Patreon where we give meditation teachings, magic classes, and Ryo transmissions. And we also have monthly events that we do, so we invite you to come to one of those. And feel free to join our Ryo Channeling Facebook page, where you can find all types of community and content available for you there. So, have a great full moon, and I hope it brings you a lot of joy, prosperity, and blessing. Take care, everybody.